Hi, it's Matt from Go Green Autos. So I'm just going to show you around this 2013 Renault Kangoo Maxi. It's obviously all electric. It's a ZE, as you can see there on the front. ZE stands for zero emissions. It's got the 22 kilowatt hour battery pack. The batteries are leased. The hire rates start from £25 plus VAT a month. And obviously with leased batteries you don't have to worry about that battery pack. It's guaranteed. They've got a 60% guarantee, 60% of the original state of health guarantee on them, and you also get breakdown cover, ZE assist. So if anything goes wrong with the drivetrain, you'll get recovered, and indeed if you also just run out of electricity, you will be recovered. This is a Maxi Kangoo, so it's the long wheelbase van. You get that little bit there between the sliding door and the back axle. That's the extra length you get. It makes quite a difference inside. You've also got a sliding door on both sides. They are the largest of the electric vans currently. It's a one-owner vehicle. It actually came from Stowe School, the independent school in Buckinghamshire, and it looks like it was a groundsman's vehicle, probably just driven around the site all its life. It's a vast site that school sits on. So just show you the inside. It's ply-lined. It's in reasonable condition. It obviously has been used, but the ply is all still pretty good. There's a little bit of resin or glue or something stuck to the floor in a couple of bits, but it's all in reasonably good condition. There's a sort of the same resin or paint or whatever is stuck on the plastic there, but you know, it's a van that's been used, but it's in pretty good nick. So I'll describe the condition while we're here. So in the back door there's a tiny little dent there, but only very small. They always happen here because they shut the wrong door and the latch bangs on the bodywork. The rest of it is all pretty good. I haven't polished it yet, so there's the odd little mark. There was a little bit of sign writing on here. You can just about see the word Stowe on the side doors there. But that will polish out. It's in really nice condition really for its age. Just looking here, we've obviously got the two charging leads there. You've got your normal type 1 to type 2 charger, which you would use at work, home or workplace charger, or public charging post. Not that you would probably charge these on a public charging post because they don't have rapid charging. It's 16 amp charging only. And that one there is your 10 granny cable, your portable charger at 10 amp is what I was trying to say there. Chargers at 10 amp. And then looking down the side, there's nothing really to point out. A couple of tiny little chips there, but really it's a van and I'm being very picky. The mirror caps there are nice. Couple of minor little scratches there on the wheel trim. But you know, I'm being too picky really pointing these things out. Nothing to point out there on the bonnet. A few scratches down there on the wheel trim. A few minor scratches there on the mirror cap on this side. That's just where it hits shrubbery and things. Minor dent there I think, but really is minor. And that's about it really. I'm looking around, there's no dents or scratches really to point out. It could do with a polish. Hopefully I'll have time to polish it. Yeah, there's a little scratch here. Well, say a scratch is more of a dent. That will polish out, but it's minor. I can just about, I feel it. I can't see it, but I can feel it, so it really is minor. But yeah, the bumpers, the plastic work's all good. It's really nice condition for the age. And then looking inside, let me just take this bit of protected paper out. I've put some carpet mats in. The seat, it did have a little tear here. I have stitched it up, but there's no significant wear on the sides yet. The seats are in pretty good condition. There are some marks there which won't wash out. It looks like it's either glue or paint off someone's trousers, but you know, you really wouldn't worry about it. And then the rest of it's all in reasonably good condition. There's minor scratches, what you'd expect on the plastic, and you know, it was pretty dirty when I got it, so I have cleaned it, but sort of all around the joints in the plastic work there's you know, dust. Well, I'll just say dust really, it's not really dirt, but you know, it's not a new vehicle. And then just looking around on the other side, carpet mat there on the floor. What I would say is the rubber mats and the rubber flooring underneath isn't worn. It's got this ingrain of a bit of dirt in there, but it's not worn. And this seat again, not worn. A few marks on where someone sat on it, they didn't wash out, so again it's sort of something on trousers. Oh, there is a little split there in the material. I hadn't noticed that before, it's quite minor. But yeah, it's in reasonably good condition for a van that has been properly used. It's really nice. And then on this side, and then I'll just show you this charging cable while we're here. So this is a portable charger, so you can charge the van on a normal 3-pin plug. It only draws 10 amps, so it does sort of take all night, whereas if you have a proper wall charger you will charge at 16 amps, so effectively 60% quicker. And the charging on these is via the flap at the front, and there's your type 1 socket there. So as I said, these only draw 16 amp, which is 3.6 kilowatt. So charging is overnight only. So we'll just go through the paperwork. This van does have 2 remote keys, and then here we've got all the paperwork. We've got the original books, there's all the books in here. The service stamps are in the back of the handbook. There is only 1 service stamp, but it has had more. That was in June 2015 at 9,455 miles. I will show you the dash in a minute, which shows when it next needs a service. No previous keepers, and the registration date is the 23rd of the 5th 2013. These vans are MOT exempt, but this one has had MOTs. It's had 2 MOTs. The MOT did expire in April 2018, so earlier this, well, a couple of months ago. The last MOT was done in April 2017 at 18,500 miles. And the van has done 23,000 miles now, but we'll do that in a minute. And then this is your original PDI documents when the van was new. So yeah, we've got all the paperwork, and then let me just grab a key and show you the dash. I'll just start the van up, and then there we can see the mileage, 23,331 miles. And if I just go round to the service interval screen, the next service is in 19,341 miles, so it wasn't serviced too long ago, because these have 25,000 mile service intervals, I think, from memory. So yeah, it wasn't done too long ago. The range on these is 75 miles maximum. Depends how you drive, of course, but when I got this van in, I did do a drive in it, and I did get 74 miles from memory, but there's a link to a video below. I did do a video on it, on my journey testing this. I did ramble on a bit, so it's rather a long video, but the link to that is in the YouTube comments below, in the YouTube description below, should I say. This van doesn't have a radio. It's easy to fit one. These earlier Kangoo ZE vans, they often don't have any extras in. With the radio, all the wiring is in place, the antenna's on the roof. All you need to do is stick some speakers in the door. The speakers are only £19 each if you want to buy them from Renault, or you could source aftermarket ones. And you take this trim out and you can slot a radio in there. All the wiring is in there, standard connectors. So, you know, the most difficult job is putting the speakers in the doors. The wiring to the doors is all there. So it's relatively easy to install. This van doesn't have air conditioning. Most of these earlier ZE vans don't. This is obviously your heater controls. You've also got this timer function on the heater, so you leave the control down to the little clock symbol here on maximum heat. You set the dash time to say what time you're going to leave in the morning, and the van will switch on and preheat the cabin. So in the winter it will melt all the ice off the windscreen and the windows, warm the cabin up while it's connected to your home charger, and then you can leave and start your journey with 100% range still. And often you wouldn't need the heating on if it's a sort of fairly short journey, because the van is preheated. And the same system works in the summer. There's obviously no air conditioning, so it's not going to cool particularly, but it puts all the fans on and attempts to cool the van down. So yeah, it's a really nice, genuine Kangoo van. And I'll just move my leaflets there. You can see there's a few little marks in the plastic. You know, it's been used, but most of my vans I get in have done ridiculously low mileages and still look like new. This one is, you know, it's just a nice, genuine 23,000 mile van. I should also note, it looks like it's just had new tyres. These front tyres are really good tread, and they're GT radial tyres, and they're the same on every corner, so it looks like it's recently had a set of new tyres here. They're all in great condition and still got the hairs on the side. So all electric vehicles are automatic. Well, they're not really an automatic as you would conventionally know an automatic, because they don't have gearboxes, but you've got an automatic gear selector here, and you've got park, reverse, neutral and drive. This van has got a rear buzzer fitted, so if I put it into reverse, I assume my microphone's picking that up and it's buzzing there at the back of the van. It has also got a front buzzer. If I just open the door, there's another switch down here, and I'm sure you can hear that, so you can put on a noise there when you're driving forward as well. So very useful if you're driving amongst pedestrians. Obviously this came from a school, so they used that when they were driving on the school grounds. And actually, while I was down there, I'll show you the other switch is down there. You've got an eco switch, so when you push that, you get an E there above your drive indicator, your gear indicator should I say, and that gives you supposedly 10% more range. What it does is it reduces the power to the motor and gives you slightly more relaxing driving. It will limit the top speed to something like 56 miles an hour or so, maybe 60, but certainly on a dual carriage rail motorway your speed is kept low, which isn't a bad thing. And yeah, it just maximizes your range a little. So just to show that there's no error lights or so, we will put it into drive, and as you can see there, it drives all fine without any faults. Everything works on this van as you would expect. So this van has got electric windows and electrically adjustable mirrors. It has also got folding mirrors. They both do work, which is unusual. Often they do give up because they don't get used much and get rather stiff, but everything works on this van. So these vans are incredibly cheap to run if your daily range is less than sort of 50, 60 or maybe 70 miles. They do 70, 75 miles maximum. Obviously if you're using the heating, it's going to use a bit less, and in the winter when the battery's cold, it's a bit less. So in the winter you'd be looking at, say, 60 miles. But if that's if your daily range is within that, then these are very cheap vans to run. They cost about £2.50 or so to charge, and you've got no road tax, no London congestion zone charges. They are also MOT exempt, but it's a good idea to have an MOT, because for the 50 quid it's a very cheap way of getting the suspension and tyres and brakes checked. Yeah, so this van is ready. I can deliver it anywhere in the country, and give me a call or email if you're interested.